Last week, Mirror Now told you how Charity Commissioner Maharashtra had gone undercover to discover that one of the biggest hospitals in Mumbai was denying treatment to the poor. As the state now cracks the whip on hospitals who discriminate, a 3-member committee has been set up to redress the grievances of the poor people. There are 430 charitable hospitals across Maharashtra that will now come under the scanner. Disha Shah joins us with more. Disha, of course, you had spoken with the Charity Commissioner last when he went undercover, and now this new development. Tell us more. What are you picking up?
That's right, Kavita. Like you rightly pointed out, that last week only the Mumbai Charity Commissioner Shivkumar Dighe, he went undercover and he exposed one of the hospitals here, Nanavati's, truth that they deny patients who are from the poor background. And after that, there are more 2 to 3 hospitals under the scanner here in the city of Mumbai. And now what the Charity Commissioner has done, he has set up a 3-member committee which will comprise of 3 inspectors from the Charity Commissioner's team, who will redress the grievances of the poor people. In fact, the Charity Commissioner, just after this incident, Nanavati incident, he had a meeting with the health officers concerned here in the city of Mumbai from across the hospitals, and he has asked them to keep a check on all the hospitals. There are 76 charitable hospitals here in the city of Mumbai. Kavita, if I can ask, if I can name few, like the Jaslok Hospital, like the Nanavati Hospital, Hiranandani Hospital, KEM, Sion, all of these are charitable hospitals where poor people can go and get themselves treated. So here he met the health officers and he has asked them first to keep a check on doctors as to whether they are not denying poor people admission or medical assistance that is on priority, and secondly they should not be overcharged or they should not be charged more when they are doing their treatment. So this is what the two are the major criteria that the commissioner will look upon on, and if they find any of this things happening across the hospitals here, then they will have to complain the committee which has been now just set up, and that committee will take up to the Charity Commissioner, who will either send them a show cause notice or file a case against them. This is something that is yet to be communicated officially to us, but this is what he is planning, not only here in the city of Mumbai, Kavita, but across Maharashtra as well.
Right, Disha, to break down what you are saying, are you telling us that there will be a committee set up that will redress patients' grievances, or will this committee also go and inspect all of these hospitals to check if the poor are actually being served?
That's right, Amita. When we here talk about all the, the 3-member committee, they will obviously do surprise checks in hospitals. That is 76 hospitals here across the city here in Mumbai. But definitely, if we talk about not only in Mumbai, but the Charity Commissioner here, Shivkumar Dighe, has observed that this is the problem that occurs not only in Mumbai but across Maharashtra hospitals as well, and there are 430 such hospitals where if you include Mumbai as well, there are 5,000 beds which can be available for poor people if they come and get them treated. So now very soon on 7th of October this year, Kavita, they are going to have a meeting with all the joint charity commissioners together, and they are going to decide the future course of action, where a separate committee will be formed area-wise and city-wise, and they will keep a check on all these hospitals, because the main observation and priority right now for them is to give poor people the treatment that they deserve.
Right, Disha, thank you for getting us those details. The Charity Commissioner over there cracking down on hospitals that have the charitable tag, that avail of all the facilities and turn away the poor, deserving, needy patient. In fact, previously we saw that Charity Commissioner Mr. Dighe had visited and observed a number of irregularities in the functionings of such hospitals. On 27 September, the Deputy Commissioner then had spoken to Mirror Now and said that it is the duty of a charitable hospital to treat poor patients as per the rules of the High Court.
Since the matter is sub judice, I can only inform you that as per directions of the Honorable Charity Commissioner, Sri Shivkumarji Dighe, on 25th September, the order is passed to launch prosecution against the trustees of the hospital.
What is the future course of action? Here we are talking about over 76 charitable hospitals here in the city of Mumbai. So, as per now, because this hospital has come under the scanner, we know for the fact there are other 2 to 3 hospitals also under the scanner. But now, what is the future course of action?
76 charitable hospitals in Mumbai, in which 840 poor patients and 840 indigent patients, they are supposed to be treated. In fact, municipal corporation hospitals and other hospitals, when they are flooded with the hospitals, it is...
Moving on to the big story that we are focusing on Mirror Now today. A husband and a wife rushing their sick granddaughter to the hospital were crushed to death by a government bus. This when their scooter skidded over a pothole in the middle of a flyover in Bengaluru. This horrific incident took place on the Mysore Road flyover, which is in the heart of the city. The couple swerved to avoid a pothole, but they were crushed by a bus which was right behind them because the driver failed to apply the brakes on time. The couple died on the spot while a child sustained injuries. A case has been registered at the Chickpet police station.
A killer pothole on the Mysore Road flyover claimed 2 members of the same family. In fact, the couple identified as 55-year-old Anthony and 53-year-old Sagai Mary were on the way when they took this particular flyover on the intervening night of Monday and Tuesday morning at around 1 a.m. We are given to understand that the couple were rushing their granddaughter, 8-year-old Shireen, to a nearby hospital because she was ailing from sickness for a very long time, and that is exactly when they took this particular flyover, which is completely riddled with potholes. Now what you see here, this particular spot is exactly where the couple fell. Now we did see how the mayor, Sampath Raj, and other executives, the BBMP assistant engineer executives had come here at the spot to take stock of situation, and the quick fix that they did here is cement the pothole. Now the joint that you see here, the pothole had developed exactly near the joint, and we are given to understand from the motorists that this has been happening for a very long time and that they did not in fact cover up the pothole.
Now, it took the lives of an elderly couple for the Bengaluru civic body to wake up and fill that pothole in the middle of the flyover. Remember, the bridge in question is in the heart of the city and is one of the well-known landmarks of Bengaluru. After the accident, civic body officials quickly swung into action and offered a band-aid solution for the killer pothole. When Mirror Now raised this, Bengaluru civic body mayor offered the customary lip service.
Okay, so we understand now it is the monsoon season and a lot of roads here in the city is going to be riddled with potholes. But as a BBMP mayor, what exactly are the actions that you will be taking now, this being the case?
See, our Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Siddaramaiah ji, for the first time in the history of Bangalore, has given 7,000 crores for Bangalore. And all the roads were made well. It was made at the world-class level, the roads were made. But unfortunately, because of nature, the rain has been coming for the last 3 months continuously without even one day relief. We have been seeing this. Because of that, we are unable to do any new roads or keep the present road wherever the potholes are happening. We are not even able to fill. Because even for the last 3 days, the rain has been continuously pouring for 8 to 9 hours. So absolutely the contractors are not willing to come and do. They say if we do the work at this particular stage, tomorrow it will be blamed that this is shoddy work, and because of this, now quality work has not been done.
So you mean to say the potholes are reappearing only because of the rains?
Absolutely. Absolutely because of the rain. Because of rain, water logging everywhere, and continuous rain being thing. Because the asphalt, when major rain comes and when there is a joint being happened over there, that particular place, when the water logs over there, the surface tends to open out.
So this is not the very new case. Every year we have seen deaths, a number of deaths as far as pothole is concerned. Now, just I asked you about the quality. Don't you think that BBMP should have learned their lesson long time ago?
Absolutely, the BBMP or any agency should have the responsibility to do quality work because it's a taxpayers' money and we are responsible for that. We will see to that. We'll check more agencies, check on them and see to that quality of work is being done.
This is because of the apathy, of civic apathy, definitely because of the BBMP this incident has taken place. We are sure that the ex gratia should be given to the family members.
We'll talk about it. No, definitely something has to be done. It's the thing, something should be done. We'll genuinely take a call on it and we'll do. And see, absolutely, again I'm telling you, this is an asphalt. This is asphalt is tar. Okay, this is a concrete. Both this will not gel together, but only for a temporary relief we are doing this because we want something to happen something to happen over here. We want to do. So once that is this might come out again. That again after the monsoon stops, we'll remove this and resurface it with the asphalt itself.
Time now for a quick break, but coming up on the other side, a cloudburst triggered mayhem in Hyderabad and brought the city to a standstill. More on this after a short break. Welcome back. Let's quickly take a look at the stories from across the nation. Malayalam actor was granted bail after nearly spending 3 months behind bars. Dileep is an accused in the case of abduction and molestation of a Malayalam actor. Soon after the court order, supporters gathered outside Kerala's Aluva jail, awaiting actor Dileep's release after the bail. RJD Chief Lalu Prasad, who was summoned by the CBI in connection with the IRCTC scam, has been granted time till October 5th to join the probe. Lalu's son Tejasvi Yadav will also be questioned on the following day. Fed up of being ignored by the government, Tamil Nadu farmers reached the Supreme Court today and tried to stage a protest. These farmers have been protesting in New Delhi since the past 3 months, demanding loan waivers from the centre. Farmers in Jaipur staged a unique protest by digging a grave and standing in it against land acquisition. The farmers have also alleged that they will continue their protest until their demands were met. They claim that the Jaipur Development Authority has been trying to take possession of land to develop a residential scheme. After a heated argument over a cleanliness campaign organized on Gandhi Jayanti, a police inspector from Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath's security was thrashed by his neighbor in Lucknow. The CCTV footage shows the man brandishing sticks and beating up the cop. No FIR has been registered so far. Violent protests broke out in Uttar Pradesh, Allahabad, after a local BSP leader Rajesh Yadav was shot dead last night. Rajesh was the BSP candidate from the Gyanpur constituency in Badoi. Angry supporters resorted to arson and stone pelting and set a bus on fire. However, the situation is now under control and police have begun investigation on the murder case. Actor turned politician Nandamuri Balakrishna was caught in the act once again. For the third time this year, the actor lost his cool and was seen slapping a fan in Andhra Pradesh, Anantapur district. In August this year, he was caught on camera slapping a fan for wanting to click a selfie with him. Before that, he had slapped an assistant on the sets of his film, asking him to tie his shoelaces. While the Yogi government has positioned women's security as one of the main concerns of the government, another ghastly case of gang rape has come to light in UP's Hardoi. A girl working as a receptionist in an automobile manufacturing company was allegedly gang raped by the manager of the company and his associate. The girl was made to sit in the car on the pretext of accompanying a customer for a trial run. The accused then took the girl to a sugarcane field where she was raped. The accused, however, managed to flee the same car with the help of a few villagers. The police have registered a case against the two accused and the girl has been sent for medical examination. Suspended for negligence that claimed the life of a 7-year-old. The former principal of Ryan International in Bonsi, Neerja Batra, has been reinstated as a teacher in the Ryan International Sector 40 branch. Parents of the students today protested, calling the move unacceptable. Concerned about the safety of their children, parents said that they would raise the issue with officials in the next parent-teacher meeting.
After the news came out of the suspended acting principal of Ryan International School, Bonsi area, Neerja Batra, being reinstated as a teacher in another branch of Ryan International School in Sector 40 in Gurugram, many parents have raised objection over her coming back as a teacher in the Ryan International School. Now, we spoke to a lot of parents in the Bonsi area where the 7-year-old Pradyuman was murdered inside the school premises, and they feel that this move is absolutely unacceptable and should not have happened. Now, many parents here in Sector 40 Ryan International School, Gurugram, have also echoed the same sentiments, saying that reinstating Neerja Batra in the school is sending a very wrong message, and it is absolutely unacceptable at this given point in time till the probe is over. And also, it is going to be a big issue that will be raised by the parents as well in the upcoming parent-teachers meeting. In Gurugram, this is Apurva Sridhar for Mirror Now.
I wouldn't accept it at this moment because the probe isn't, probe is still in process. Until it's completed and she's found guilty, then obviously we will not accept it. But if she's found not guilty, then probably we can think over it.
मैम, मुझे बिल्कुल लगता है क्योंकि अगर नीरजा बत्रा यहाँ रहेंगी तो बच्चे इतना छोटे वाले बच्चे हैं, ये तो 5th तक के, तो ऑब्वियस सी बात है कि वो डरेंगे. वी आर नॉट सेटिस्फाइड विद दिस डिसीजन बिकॉज इतना बड़ा एपिसोड हो चुका है, उसके बाद आप उनको यहाँ पे ले रहे हो इस ब्रांच में. और हमें कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है किसी को कुछ कहने के लिए, क्योंकि डाइवर्ट ही तो क्या है, हटाना चाहिए था ना उनको सीधा सीधा. फिर काय का सस्पेंशन, क्यों शोर मचा रहे हो इतना?
देखिए, ये तो गलत है ही, फिर उनको नहीं रखना चाहिए था इनको. जब वो सस्पेंडेड है तो देखिए दोबारा जॉब कैसे मिल सकती है? बिल्कुल नहीं. एक्चुअली जो सस्पेंडेड टीचर है वो केयरलेस टीचर है, तो केयरलेस प्रिंसिपल थी, भले ही वो एक्टिंग प्रिंसिपल है, लेकिन फिर भी आई डोंट थिंक सो कि उसको दोबारा ये सारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी देनी चाहिए स्कूल की तरफ से.
A cloudburst has wreaked havoc in the city of Hyderabad. Heavy rainfall along with thunderstorm led to waterlogging in several parts of the city and has thrown life off track. According to the Indian Meteorological Department, rainfall is expected to lash the city till Wednesday. The heavy rainfall was caused, like I said, due to a cloudburst. Schools and colleges in the city remained closed today. A 40-year-old man and his infant son have reportedly died due to a wall collapse in Hyderabad. The reason for the collapse is slated to be heavy incessant rains that have been lashing several parts of the city since yesterday.
यहाँ पूरा बारिश आके 2 जने उसके अंदर चले गए. हम 2 जने अम्मा बेटे बाहर आए. गोजो पे पूरा हमारे ऊपर गिर गया था. उनके ऊपर गिर जाके आवाज़, ये तो भी आवाज़ नहीं आया. वो बारिश को पानी को उधर ही चले गया.